Okay, so the executive has met again today. We're obviously watching the Omicron situation very closely, and we'll continue to do that over the course of the next number of weeks. We're clearly in a very challenging position. We expect that position to get worse over the next week to 10 days, but then we expect the cases to peak and start to fall. So over the next sort of week to 10 days, we're urging the public to double down, to keep being strong in terms of fighting back against the pandemic, to make sure you do everything you can to protect yourself and your loved ones. But clearly we are planning for all contingencies. There's a lot of people having to isolate right now. So we're working with our partners in the trade union movement, business leaders, etc., around planning for keeping public services running and ensuring that we can protect people and keep them safe at their workplace. So there's a lot to continue to work our way through over the course of the coming weeks, but we're clearly in a very challenging position. This Omicron version is a mass disruptor, as we can see. It's impacting on many, many people at this period, but crucially over the next couple of weeks we need people to double down on their efforts. It's very important that we try to keep our schools open and safe for our pupils, give parents that confidence to send their children to school, but also safe for our teaching staff and our staff in our schools. We have been consistently calling for the Education Minister to do more to support schools throughout this period. I have spoken to principals throughout the Christmas period who are being anxious about planning for the return of schools. Clearly this week already it's been challenging for many schools that can't get teachers because there's so many people isolating, support staff isolating and pupils isolating. So today again at the executive meeting I have asked the Education Minister to bring forward and other measures that actually support schools to keep open and safe at this time. Unfortunately that hasn't happened to date, so therefore we have recalled the Assembly. Sinn Féin asked for that to happen. We've now achieved support from other parties as well, so the Assembly will meet on Monday and it's for the Education Minister to put in place supports to keep our schools open and safe. Well, I think that the DUP are overplaying their hand yet again. I mean, we've seen this hand played before. They have tried this before. There is an executive agreed position, agreed by the DUP, and that is that the Department of Agriculture need to implement the checks. We also have a legal responsibility to implement the checks. The British government have been very clear to the DUP about that. The rest of the parties around the executive have been very clear about the DUP's responsibility, and Edmund Poots in particular, his responsibility. So I will not be backing any proposal from Edmund Poots. There isn't one on the table as we speak, but I will not be backing any proposal that undermines or fails to deliver on our legal obligations, but also on the policy that has been agreed by the executive collectively in the past.
So essentially you will stop that paper hitting the executive desk?
Yes, Sinn Féin will stop that paper hitting the executive desk. Well, it's time to stop the foot dragging. This needs to be delivered. It needs to be delivered upon now. My team actually met with the Brandon Leas's team before Christmas. We have now saw the draft legislation, so it's time to get it implemented, get it over the line and stop the foot dragging. There is no call for any more delay. Westminster is now sitting again from yesterday, so let's get it delivered this week.
Are you optimistic?
Well, I'm going to hold Brandon Leas's feet to the fire to make sure that it is delivered.